Welcome back to the next episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Generation X tournament here on the HomeBoiz channel. Today we have Titan, the Shadow Rider, going up against another Shadow Rider, Professor Lyman Banner. Titan has a traditional Archfiend deck, which was centered around a bunch of like chess piece kind of monsters, but then a lot of them weren't really chess piece related necessarily. Then the deck slowly evolved over time and became kind of like tribute summon focused. It's really bizarre, hard to explain. Essentially, the Fiends have decent attack stats, you would hope, for most of them, but they all have abilities that require you to pay life points at the start of every single one of your standby phases, and it's not optional. It's not like you can just choose to let them destroy themselves or anything like that. They also technically provide protection against targeting, but you have to roll a die and get specific numbers listed on each one of the cards. It's honestly really complicated and overall a pretty bad deck, but you know, here he is making it to round 2. For the side deck and extra deck, you switch over to a little more of a Summon Skull theme because it's just a tad bit more consistent, shall we say, and just a couple of different support cards to help get to that a little bit easier. But moving on to his opponent, Professor Lyman Banner also has a very terrible deck with a lot of spell cards in it as well. It focuses on not just banishing monsters, but banishing his own monsters, not allowing them to go to the graveyard, and by doing this, the effects of his different sun monsters as well as his golden homunculus allow them to get more and more powerful. Ironically, some of them can revive themselves, but only if they go to the graveyard when they die. The rest of his monsters are the alchemy beasts, which depend on chaos distilled to be on the field, which isn't too hard until you realize they can't be normal summoned or set, so you need a specific spell card in order to summon every one of these, and they all are just 500 attack monsters that can attack directly. Really difficult. His side deck turbos and upgrades the whole remove from play strategy though, so hopefully after round 1 he can accomplish something. But without further ado, let the duel begin. Turn 1 between Titan and Professor Banner, and it looks like Titan's going to be taking the first move, only playing 2 set cards in his back row and passing turn. Meanwhile, Banner opens up with a Chaos Distill, allowing him to get off his strategies to banish really early, and he gets to normal summon Helios, the Primordial Sun. Very unusual to summon it in attack mode since nothing has been banished yet, but I'm sure he has a strategy. Then with 1 set card, he's just gonna pass his turn. Titan's gonna be normal summoning the Banderilio Fiend, which would destroy a monster, and it still will, but Planet Alignment with Helios on the field allows him to destroy all the monsters on his opponent's field. Titan takes 300 for each. Thankfully for him though, it was only a single monster. He's gonna activate Double Summon, which as the sounds of it, it will allow him to normal... He's going to activate Double Summon, which, as it sounds, will allow him to normal summon a second time. So here comes the Picador Fiend with 1600, a much more respectable attack stat line, if I do say so myself. Banner's just going to pass with a single set card, and during Titan's turn, he's going to sacrifice the Fiend for the Mist Archfiend with 2400, going in for a direct attack once more, leaving Banner with only 4000 life points. At half-life though, he manages to draw his Pot of Greed to get 2 more cards, and with Chaos Distill on the field, he can go into this Tin Spell Circle, giving him the Alchemy Beast Erados the Tin. But instead of using it to do some damage, he's gonna just use it to defend himself from the Archfiend. Thankfully for him, Titan did in a way brick monster-wise, but he managed to draw a Falling Down, which is like a Snatch Steal without the whole give your opponent life points factor. So Banner has 1100 life points left, and Titan now has the ability to attack directly for 500. Let's see how he chooses to respond here. He unfortunately drew a tribute monster, so he cannot activate a single card in his hand, especially without Primordial Sun. So Titan wins round 1. For round 2, Professor Lyman Banner is going to be going first. He's going to normal summon Helios once again and set 3 face down cards this time. Titan's going to use the ability of the Archfiend General in order to get the field spell Pandemonium to his hand. Then he's going to normal summon the Archfiend Cavalry with 1900 attack points, with a little bit of a recovery option if it does get destroyed, and he's going to give it the Archfiend Staff of Despair, which I believe would allow him to make one of his opponent's monsters lose attack points equal to the cavalry's own attack points. So he's going to swing in for the 19. Banner has the Dimensional Prison to banish the cavalry, so he does not get the effect since it wasn't destroyed and sent to the graveyard, etc., etc. Playing 1 card face down with 1 monster removed from play, Helios now has 100 attack points. He's going to slap Titan in the face with that. That's just bad manners. For Titan's turn, he's going to activate Pandemonium, which will now allow him to not have to pay life points for the abilities of all of his different Archfiend cards. And if one of his Archfiend monsters gets destroyed and goes to the graveyard, then he would be able to get something from his deck with a lower level. Unfortunately, though, he is up against a banished deck, so it's very unclear whether he's going to be able to get that off successfully or not. Regardless, though, he has a 2000 attack Shadow Knight on the field, but Titan has Planet Alignment, which he's chaining with Double Cyclone. So first, Double Cyclone will destroy the Planet Alignment and the Pandemonium on Titan's side of the field, but destroying a card doesn't negate its ability, so Planet Alignment will still destroy the Shadow Knight and poke for 300 points of damage, rendering Titan's turn absolutely void. Now, Banner is going to draw into and normal summon the DD Survivor, who can come back if it was removed from play, but more importantly, has an 1800 attack stat line, so 1900 total damage here for Banner's turn. Titan is going to go into the Banderilio Fiend in order to destroy the DD Survivor, get it off the field, especially since there's nothing that banishes it, so he will not have to worry about that. But we will see Banner go into the Yellow Process Kiddo Lennox, tributing the Primordial Sun for the Helios Duo Majestus, which gets 200 points, and it's going to sacrifice that to evolve it into the Helios Trismegistus, which gets 300 points per banished monster, but it will revive itself with an extra 500 if it dies and goes to the graveyard. A Titan over here is going to use Monster Reborn to get back the Shadow Knight, and with an Archfiend officially on the field, he can normal summon the Terror King Archfiend with another 2000 attack for a level 4 monster. It's going to do 4,000 points of damage to Banner once again, but at least this time, Trismegistus will be able to revive itself. It has 800 points this time, which isn't a lot, and unfortunately, he draws Planet Alignment once again. Without Helios on his field, it is absolutely useless. So passing turn, Titan takes a bunch of effect damage before tributing 2 monsters in order to summon the Annihilator Archfiend with an admittedly pathetic attack stat for a level 9, but let's see what it says. You can target 1 card you control and 1 card your opponent controls and destroy them, and if you destroyed a face-up Archfiend, or a Fiend, excuse me, with this effect, it gains attack equal to half of that original attack. So there goes the Trismegistus and his back row. Titan attacks directly for incredible amounts of damage here, leaving Banner with only 400. He sets a card face down before passing turn. He uses Dynamite just to do a little 300 because he really can't do much else here. Titan does end up paying 8 for King. Dimensional Wall will reflect the 2,000 points right back at Titan, but unfortunately for him, it's not enough to kill him. So with 400 left, facing a 2,000 King, Titan wins the duel.